morning, yeah. Hello, good morning, and welcome to another episode of WhiteDetails.
In a quarter of a mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto Stourbridge Road, A491.
We're in the Volvo support vehicle on a road trip. I don't want to be seen filming. There it is. There it is. Alright, so it's the following day. Didn't do a great deal of filming yesterday. I didn't have this camera, I was using the phone, and I was overly excited for the reason being I was buying a new car. It was a road trip out to source a new vehicle. Behind me, unfortunately it's not this. This is a C63 AMG S. C63S. In brilliant blue. It is last week's minor paint correction with various bolt-ons. We'll take a look around this a little later. Stunning. But press this. It's a wet, miserable day, unfortunately. But out here, here's the new beast. Can I introduce the new WD BM SV, the WhiteDetails BM support vehicle, a mineral grey BMW 330D M Sport Touring. I'm not sure if the Volvo made it to the channel before on YouTube. Certainly if you was on Instagram or Patreon to WhiteDetails, you'll know about this car, but it really isn't me. Maybe on paper the R design looks, pack was attractive, but more on them to follow. I really want to do an overview of the car, to be honest, show you what I found so far, some of the bad bits, some of the areas that need work, but it's pretty dire, it's pretty wet. So what we're going to do is we're going to back it through into next door and just tackle the interior and maybe go for a drive. So it has been a while since the last video. There is plenty to get caught up on and plenty to talk about in and outside of the unit here today. But as I say, we're going to take a look over the interior on the Touring, have a look at the Mercury finished. First, we're going to empty this out, talk about some of the kit, do the interior, hop in for a drive, maybe talk about this as well. You may have seen this in the background over the last couple of months. It's one thing, the car came with plenty of spares. This is the full interior pack of standard M Sport trim. This is where the scratches there. This is where the iDrive goes. Basically, this one's been upgraded to the dry carbon fibre for the gear knob, the shifter, the Alcantara M4 pack here, the LCI gloss black climate control surround, and the door handles. So all that is pretty much upgraded, and I like it. Perhaps nice to keep this lot for spares, or even to sell on for someone to wrap in their own carbon fibre or whatever. Interior pack. Oh, there's the pre-LCI climate control surround. It's just a matte plastic as opposed to gloss black, which the later models have. OEM kidney drills. These have been replaced once again by the M Sport matte ones, which ties it in all quite nicely. One thing I'm not too sure on at this time is the gloss wheels. The car looks aggressive, it looks mean, perhaps a little bit too mean. The 403 M design wheels, might have to change something there. This last box is the original diffuser. This is the M Performance kit on it. Again, quite aggressive, but nice to have the spare. either to move on or to pass on when I come to sell the vehicle. Oh, paint depth gauge. Always handy to have one of these if you're buying a car. And actually located that there is some repair work here. Not too pleased about, but what can you do? It's a 2012 car. I'm the fourth owner. The leather's very shiny. It's all very black in here, to be honest, but it would have been nice to have a bit of colour. So it looks like really the vehicle's had a bit of a once over prior to my arrival yesterday. It's been a quick once over valet, but we're going to give it a thorough vac. Get the airline down into the gunnels, the channels to blast out. A couple of bits of damage, annoying. Got some money off of these bits. Combination of the hoover and the airline is going to flush out all the nooks and crannies. Get it clean. And then we can start to look to wipe some surfaces with some chemicals. Headphones. It's a bit cramped and tight up in here. Normally I'd like to do this through a net store, but the Merc would suffer. With the loose stuff and the carpets blown and vaxed, we're actually going to make a bit of a mess again. So we'll need a final vac later on. Using the Autosmart Tornador steady on. It is a clever vortex system. You've probably seen them all by now anyway. It's all over the internet, there's copies of this. With an upholstery cleaner, same chemical in there as in here, which is HD Car Cares. I was sent this a while ago and had some nice results. Upholstery cleaner, it generates, you can turn the chemical on and off. So on, off, and it generates a vortex. The idea being on upholstery, it spits the chemical, mushes it about a bit, draws it back out. So it spits and it sucks. The carpets aren't bad by any means, but it'd be nice to freshen them up. The floor mats, that's a bit more work. I'd like to replace them with rubber mats. I love the rubber mats. A bit more practical. So I'm going to give the area a soak. I'm going to agitate. I'm then going to further agitate. And I'm going to rub clean, or wipe clean. The water bucket here is fresh and clean, and that'll be the rinse bucket from the cloth. Ah, there's your bloody bag.
Kiss tattoo coffee. someone would start it off. No, we're just like, think it's time to
That's that one done.
quit. Think it's time to
It's worth saying if these are particularly dirty, floor mats may well still have it, but I'd use a wet vac in place of this system. This is like I'd pull a light clean just to spray, agitate, rub. I'd pull a medium clean, spray, agitate, blow, rub, and then a deep, and then a deep clean. I get the wet vac out. This doesn't warrant it today.
loving you was such a bliss. That is something I will miss. How do you feel for one more kiss? Loving you was such a bliss. When I'm talking anymore, I'm not gonna try. Open someone you started, no, we decide. Think it's time to call it
Take me back to Mexico, the decon sun would turn the sun would hide on me, wanted to vibe with me. Take me back to Mexico, the decon sun would turn the sun would hide on me, wanted to vibe with me.
One thing about doing floor mats on the floor is don't ever be, now that work in there is complete, don't ever be tempted to go, great, perfect, put it straight in. You want to make sure you give the underside a bit of a wipe and a vac. To be fair, you're transferring the dirt from the floor straight back in. That go to one side until we get finished off inside.
I told you it makes a mess.
Not too bad, lightly soiled. Don't think it's really worth going any more than that. This blue is beautiful, brilliant blue. In fact, it's called coated with Kamikaze Collections Japan coat. That's at the wrong temperature, 45, 65. Not bad for a minor correction. More damage here, hoping to have that stitched up very soon. Probably quite an easy fix that. A shame something's just caught that as it's going into the pocket there. But all the plastics, the dash, it just feels like greasy. Something's been on here, something's been applied, not just a cleaner. You can almost see how shiny it is, look. There's a tide mark here. It's impossible for me to see if you can balance the light. Tide mark there where there's something slippy, shiny, horrible, tacky been applied. Wouldn't be surprised if that's gone over the seats as well. The carpets certainly look a lot fluffier. I'll have a final vac later, might get some waterproofing fabric protection on them. Fingerprints from makeup and foundation on the sun visor there. That's the passenger side. You can see it around the RAC breakdown. That's not mine. That Mr. G Twin. Sorry, Mr. G Twin. Hajaba Hwa. That's hot on your leg. More makeup foundation. Then it's detail areas like the back of the stalks. You see there the grouped up gunk and dirt. Again, by no means a dirty place or an abused car, but it just needs a proper full going over all surfaces. Headlining, seats will be done last. I'm cold now because I've stopped for a drink, so gonna rock it to some focus. In the bottle, the chemical, albeit empty, a naked bottle. It's G-Technic Tri-Clean, antibacterial, all-purpose interior cleaner really. And then we'll use something separate for leather. Bucket to empty. This is now the dashboard and leather. That's more like it. Look at that. Sweet. Yeah. The AMG owner is on the way, not to take the car today, because it's peeing it down. We're going to leave it here so it's dry, but to look over it and also drop off next week's job, which is their second car, which is a white AMG C63 Coupe Saloon, slightly earlier generation, so that is to follow. Good afternoon, WhiteDetails. Oh, sorry mate, okay, no problem, I'll pop out. Cheers, thanks. Doing the interior and cleaning the glass of my own car when I get a new car is absolutely the first thing I do, especially the glass. Can't, nothing worse than, well there is things worse, but I hate smudgy, smeary glass with fingerprints all over, especially the windscreen. So G-Technics G6 perfect glass, lovely. Also we have the next car here, Outside we have W204 AMG Mercedes. Same owner as the blue one next door. That's next to its job. And that needs to come through here when this is out. Two modes together now. Gonna run you through the after footage of the wagon. This week, it's the same job as the wagon, same owner as the wagon. Haven't looked at the paint yet. Being a funny creamy white, it's very difficult to pinpoint any defects. But the other car was extremely clean, and this car, to be honest, also, so far, is looking extremely clean. Alright, enjoy the after shots of the S205. Right, okay, we're in motion, we're rolling in the F31 330D M Sport Touring. It is my 5th BMW. As I say, I'm not sure the Volvo made it to YouTube. My last wagon, I had the 3 Series, the 320D Touring, Titan Silver, manual, 2-litre diesel, perfect, loved it. Just getting on the mileage, it was just getting 110, 112,000 miles, time to change. I somehow fell for the R-Design V60 and discovered one. I was searching for 5 or 6 months. Found one, the D5, hard to find, the 2.45 cylinder. Found one with a Polestar map. It was 3 hours away. Went over there and I kind of wasn't that sold to begin with, but I'd been looking and so amped for this to begin with that I was like, yeah, it is. I want the car, it's what I'm after. But I was so bored so soon, and it was an impulse purchase and a big mistake. Don't get me wrong, it's a nice car, it's a great car. It completely blows this out of the water in terms of its comfort. The seats were amazing. It was a 64 plate, which is the facelift with a digital dash, the nice gear selector and the amazing seats. The ride was amazing. But other than that, it just didn't give you anything. It didn't have any life. It looked leery. The colour, rebel blue. The drive, 230 horsepower. That's with the Polestar map. This, as standard, is 250. So already as a standard car, this, on paper, is off the mark. Better than the Volvo. But a lot of it comes down to what comes through the steering wheel. There was no input, there was lack of character. It's not a driver's car. As well as being, I prefer to be pushed along, rear wheel drive, than being dragged along from the front axle, and that's kind of key. 2 weeks into my ownership of the V60, I actually recorded a safe wash video and a full heavy decontamination. There was a ton of tar deposits on the vehicle. It wasn't the best looked after prior to my ownership. It was green down the window rubbers and up on the roof rails, and it just generally, there was sun cream paw prints or hand prints all over the bodywork and the leather. It was a family car. But as I was recording this day, I wasn't in it for the right reason. I wasn't interested, to be honest. I realised by this point that, hey, I need to move this car on. I miss my 3 Series. The 3 Series at this point is sold to a customer, a WhiteDetails customer, who saw my post on Instagram, and I missed the BM. I missed what it gave me. I have to say as well, this steering wheel now feels amazing. So it's a 2012 F31. This is the 6th generation of the BMW 3 Series. It's the 330D, so it's the N57 engine, I believe, and it's inline 6, 250 horsepower. The transmission on these BMs, the F Series, is half of the wow factor for me, the ZF, 8-speed ZF gearbox. I remember driving a customer's 335D saloon with a customer in the car, and they were asking me to push on in Sport Plus. And yeah, it's rapid, exceedingly so, but the most impressive bit is the gears. It's just wow. The Geartronic in the Volvo, very lethargic, lazy. So this in particular vehicle has the M Performance body kit, the side skirts, the decals, the side skirts, the front splitter and rear diffuser. They're not genuine, however, it doesn't bother me too much. The genuine ones are going to be well over 4 figures. What these cost, I don't know. They were on the car when I picked it up. I do like them. I would have put them on the car myself. So the wheels, they're gloss black. They've been done by BMW from the last in the last guy's ownership. Once upon a time they were a nice silver with the diamond cut front face, and the stealthed out, blacked out. Yeah, it's a bit much for me. Finally got some clear road. It is wet and miserable still. It's just straight away through the column, the wheel. The E90 chassis is known as a hydraulic steering rack. It's just known to be it gives you something. It gives you input. It gives you the driver and experience. The BMWs, the driver's cars. Where was I? I have no idea. Wheels. So I'm gonna have these looked at. I might have the inner spokes and the barrel a very light anthracite, and then have the spokes diamond cut. I just think it needs that shimmer, that glisten down on the wheels. With black on black wheels, you sort of have to keep on top of the tyre dressing, because it makes the tyres look rubbish if they're not sharp and dark. But also you lose the detail on the wheel. You sort of can't see the wheel and show off its design. So any other plans other than the wheels, it does need some form of treatments. If I can find 3 days to do any polishing. I've spent 4 hours, 5 hours in the interior today. Much happier about this. I will record its first wash and decontamination as per what I did with the Volvo and scrap the footage. At that point there will be some spot corrections to make. There are a series of abrasions, some weird scattered scratches. The gloss black B pillars, they'll be corrected. They're definitely worthwhile cutting and refining them to they're nice and sharp. Perhaps get the bonnet corrected and use it as a bit of a test bed for a few coatings that I'm sort of working around with in the minute. The GoPro is not in the best place, right in that apex visual. So why do I need a touring? Why do I always go for the wagon? I don't often take customers' wheels to get refurbished. If I do, I've got access to a van. Certainly this chassis, the F30 and the E90, the E91 and F31, I prefer the estate. The profile of the estate, for me, is a better looking model than what the Go On Sun and E Corsa cut on the corner.
It's a better looking model, I believe, than the saloon. So occasionally I will be tempted to throw the bike in the back. I will occasionally have wheels in the back. It's just options. I like the car, I love the car. But outside of this, outside of the BMW purchase, there has been some big news, an update, some sad news posted on Instagram and my Facebook if you follow me there. If not, I've had to share it again for the YouTube community, and it perhaps needs touching on a couple of times for those that pick up another video and don't see this one. But I'll play you the Instagram clip now. Guys, good afternoon. Jim, WhiteDetails, Thursday. More on the AMG later. The reason for the video, it's a small update and some sad news. The first 7 years of my time as WhiteDetails, I operated as a one-man band. 2.5 years ago, we introduced Terry to the channel, who we all know and love. As of last week, Terry has moved on to a few projects, a few side ventures of his own outside of car care, nothing to do with the industry whatsoever. We've parted ways in business, but very much going to stay in contact. Terry, if you're watching this, you're a dear friend. I can't thank you enough. You've been a great asset to WhiteDetails. Moving forward, we wish you all the very best with your future projects and new venture. Guys, if you're watching this as a YouTube fan, a viewer of the vlog, and you'd like to leave Terry your best wishes, please do so in the comments in the section below. For me, moving forward, I will be on my own for the time being, but I'm sure in the coming months there will be a vacancy open up if that is of interest. More on that later. I've ran out of time on the clock. That's all for now. Thanks. Bye-bye. So I'm by myself. There's no more Terry. No more karaoke. I will be looking to have somebody come forward to help out to take a step through with WhiteDetails in the coming weeks, in the coming months. If it's something you're interested in, feel free to get in touch on email, jim@whitedetails.co.uk, send me your CV. Previous experience is ideal. So as we record this today, 12th of October, the diary is booked through till maybe late November, mid to late November, with some big jobs as well, of which I've staggered over the course of a week and a half for the WhiteDetail. There's 2 Bentleys, a Bentley Brooklands and a Bentley Azure. And on my own, that's a lot of work. The blue Merc you've just seen, a minor paint correction, 4 days on my own. The WhiteDetail, we're chasing paint perfection, we're really going to town. And it took the 2 of us 6 days, so it's going to take me a week and a half, really. So I think really for this part, that's what I had to say. That's everything covered. Because the batteries are charged and the cameras are rolling, I may continue to film some of this week with the white AMG. Oh. Yes, BMW. Never moving from BMW again. Fact. Oh, that's amazing. Stay tuned for the wash video, the decontamination. We'll go through the wash process, which I'm desperate to do myself. Haven't washed it yet. And no doubt we'll pick up some more marks. I'll show you the areas, the problem areas that I've discovered so far. It's had a bit of paint work, but for now, I'm going to go for a small blast, may go grab a coffee, and I'll be back in the unit tomorrow. This has been my last 5 hours. I think this afternoon I should be listening to some podcasts. I've had drum and bass since 8:30 this morning. And it's now nearing 2:30, not started polishing yet. As expected though, the Merc is very clean. It's very forgiving colour for the polishing side of things, yet to put a light to the paint. Fully decontaminated, clay bar, it took a bit of time, but it's these colours you really have to explore and push hard with the clay, not physically, but push hard time-wise and open your eyes and really inspect and examine. Hawkeye, to make sure to pick up all the contaminants and the pinheads. So although it's a clean example, with only 7,000 miles, it's not been touched really, and as a result, areas have suffered. Look at the tarnishing on the chrome here, sort of light greeny. I've seen it before, oxidation on other cars. Look at the badge. Hopefully the pitting is polishable. It's just been left, it's not been washed. Perhaps it's not been put away dirty, so to speak, but it's just not been touched for such a long time. So before I start any polishing, I'm going to tackle these areas. The likelihood of sorting the chrome here is that you're going to leave marring on here. Who's going to see the marring on there because it's the colour? No one, but I'm taking a break from machine polishing. Going to sort this stuff first, then mask them up to polish with machine the rest of the area. Condensation, both lights, and then see where the rest of the week takes us. It's taking some time this, so from that, the tarnishing, to that. It's not perfect, some of the bug etchings are seen, have completely etched through, it's pitted. Really, it's damaged the chrome finishing. But that side is really bad. And it's taken a lot of elbow grease. And the Guys 101. Didn't end up picking the camera up much this week for the Merc. Reason being, I've been sort of looking into the edit so far. I think there's like 30-35 minutes in length already, so we didn't need another 20 minutes on this car. So it was a minor correction, kamikaze collections, it pan coat, it was interior, it was engine bay, it was wheels. It was already a very nice car to begin with, a very nice example. The car now is immaculate, it is spotless. Even the door shuts, there's zero tar deposits, there's zero specks, zero pinheads of contaminants on the sills, under the bumpers. It's hard to make a white car better when it's already quite nice to begin with. The polishing, the lengths I've gone to with the underside of the bumpers and the lower portions of the door, it's only a minor correction, but I don't want to cheat myself. I'm not gonna not do that just because the owner's not going to be down on his hands and knees with the light. I know it's done. If I know it's done, I'm happy the job goes on, customer's happy. So it's been a bit of a test really mentally to get through this one. It just doesn't give you much back. So that's it. Weekend this coming, I will try to get maybe 1 or 2 more bits done to the touring. I've got a few plans booked in, a few appointments booked in already, so stay tuned for that. Probably in the next episode. So enjoy the after footage of the Merc. 4-day week for me, nice and easy. Next week there's a new car prep on T-Roc, and then I'm getting an early head start on a white detail booking on a big black Bentley. Thank you as always to the WhiteDetails patrons for their support. I'm actually meeting someone this weekend, Saturday. I'm meeting Daniel, who is a paid patron, and we're having a couple of hours coffee and a catch up, a bit of a mentoring session Saturday morning. Thank you to you for watching. Thanks for your kind messages recently that have been coming through off the back of the recent news. Consider hitting subscribe if you're not already to the WhiteDetails channel, and I'll be back on very soon.